Welcome to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host is Chris.
Hello.
We give our little thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up. Then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with a Kino rating. Today's episode, we'll be covering the 2000 Guy Ritchie film Snatch, starring Jason Statham, Stephen Graham, and Brad Pitt.
Oh boy. Great movie. Great movie. Dude,
here we are. Snatch.
I've just realized that we have literally done the bulk of the movies so far are all before, I don't know, 2009. Isn't that crazy?
It's a little, well, I guess so. Like, if we had kids that were Zoomers or whatever doing a movie podcast, does that exist? Is there any movie podcasts that are Zoomers right now?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Because my two nephews are Zoomers and they're like in high school right now. And I don't think they've watched any of these movies.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not one to watch, black and white pictures, from the 50s by any means. So maybe this is kind of the same thing for that for Zoomers. Yeah, I don't know. But no, it's just these are classics, I guess, in our eyes. But anyway, I thought that was kind of weird. Did you hear the breaking news?
No, what's the breaking news, Chris?
Tom Cruise is dating Ana de Armas. Are you?
I mean, it's unbelievable. Holy smokes!
Did you hear this?
No, I didn't.
60-whatever-year-old Tom Cruise is dating like the hottest 37-year-old actress.
Dude, Tom Cruise is that guy. I mean, I don't know. Say what you will about Tom Cruise. Like, I guess for years he's been labeled as just some kind of actor that does, I don't know what you want to call it, goofy movies.
Tom Cruise rules in my book, dude. I don't know about
I think he rules. Yeah.
We got to talk to Vicky about this. One of our drivers at work hates Tom Cruise.
Does he? I mean,
but
dude,
it's the funniest thing. But what is wrong with Tom Cruise? Is there anything bad with this guy? I think
I think people don't like him because he's like an A-list actor who's a Scientologist.
Oh yeah, the Scientology
out on
thing.
Oprah's couch.
Okay, right. Yeah, that was years ago. Right,
but
is he still active in Scientology?
Cruise, I don't know. I guess so. I mean, I will admit that is one of my favorite videos of all time. Top 5 of Tom Cruise, his 10-minute Scientology video. That is incredible, dude. That's top tier. But I guess I just saw a clip of this actor who I went with Guy Ritchie of all people to Tom Cruise's house, and they're talking about they're in his gym and they're talking about doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is letting them know that he can do 80, 90 push-ups in a row. They never came to a number, and I don't know if he actually did it in front of them, but they believed him.
How old is Tom Cruise?
Great question.
He's
looking a little older now.
He's 63. He might be looking older in the face, but he's still kind of jacked from last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. He was one of those guys that never aged.
Yeah.
In my mind. But, the story was with these pull-ups that Mission Impossible movie where he's on the side of a building, there was some kind of thing where he didn't want to get off the building just to get off so that unless they got the shot.
Right.
So it was just like, I'm going to train my forearms to just stay on the side of the building the whole time. And I guess that allowed him to just do 80 push-ups, 80 pull-ups in a row, which is unbelievable to think about. That's just Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Absolute dedication.
What age too, right? Did that happen? Yeah. Say what you want about him, but talk about being dedicated to the craft. I mean, this guy, he does his own stunts. There's that stunt on the side of the airplane where he's hanging on for Mission Impossible, whatever it was. It's like a live airplane taking off. Jumbo jet. Yeah, whatever. This isn't even about Tom Cruise. Why are we talking about Tom Cruise again? Was that me? My bad.
Because he's now dating this this woman. But I'm like, both of these stories, him dating this woman and doing the pull-ups, are correlated in my mind. Because this is a guy that is the apex man.
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. And like, how could any woman resist? Tom Cruise starts talking to you, he's all in.
Yeah, Tom Cruise rules, in my opinion. But anyhow, let's get back to, the topic at hand here. Guy Ritchie's 2000 Snatch. Give me a little description on this thing.
Well, I mean, this movie is about two boxing promoters who get involved with a local thug to fix a fight. And at the same time, a diamond thief has to get rid of this giant diamond he stole without getting killed. Through a wild series of events, everyone gets mixed up together, and everyone either dies, gets arrested, or goes on the run at the end.
Yeah, this movie, it's one of those concoctions of great stories and scenes, right? Hilarious dialogue, amazing acting, and just littered with great characters. It's like one of those entertaining type of movies, you know what I mean? The Tarantino-esque ones where all the different stories kind of are separate and then they all come together at the end there, kind of thing. Personal favorite style of mine. But yeah, I think you kind of see these more in Tarantino movies. Call me crazy.
Yeah, very similar vibe, very similar type of story format. Seemingly unrelated characters somehow come together at the end.
Yeah.
Their paths cross in some different
Makes for a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But talk to me some Kino backstory of this movie.
Well, I was watching this today. I just thought, Brad Pitt's in this. He plays the gypsy boxer. And I thought to myself, I was like, when did Brad Pitt become mega A-lister Brad Pitt exactly? Was it at this point? Or was it later in the 2000s? Or was it earlier in the 90s? He seemed to have this ebb and flow to Brad Pitt's career. I want to know the exact moment where he's that guy.
Also, speaking of Tom Cruise being a guy who never ages, Brad Pitt's in the same boat. I mean, I think they're both 63, if I'm not mistaken, or in their 60s at least. But yeah, also a guy who just doesn't age. It's kind of alarming, but whatever the diet they're on. But I would say
the Hollywood cocktail.
Hollywood cocktail, 100%. I don't know, man. I would say probably, Fight Club was 99. 7 was 95.
Yeah.
But also, I think in 95 he did Legends of the Fall, where he's like a heartthrob. That movie, I read it this the other day. I didn't realize that it won an Oscar for something or other. I can't remember what it was, but that was a popular movie that year. So I would say, supporting role in the 90s, but yeah, he's kind of launching himself to mega stardom. Why? What do you think?
Well, I was about to say, or I was thinking when I was thinking about this, I was about to say in the 2000s,
yeah,
he was really cemented, because I don't think Fight Club was that popular when it came out. Then later in the 2000s, it became way more popular, and then Troy came out,
yeah,
and it was like, okay, this is the A-list actor. But then I thought to myself, wait a second, what about Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah,
we're just talking about Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt.
They're both vampires. There's your answer. That's how this.
There you go.
Looks still young still.
That was a big movie. And then he goes into 7. So then it was like, I don't know, maybe it was earlier in the 90s. Then
yeah, he was definitely.
I just didn't realize it.
Yeah, he was definitely getting good movies in the 90s for sure. It was turning into that heartthrob. But speaking of kind of the same plane is Jason Statham. I mean, what was he in? There was one he was in before this. I think one smaller movie that was popular. But this,
he was in Lock, Stock.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah.
But I can't. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying.
Are you talking about a big movie?
Yeah, but when did he start his career? Was this his first real breakout? Because he's kind of the lead role in this movie, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he's Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt caliber type, but he's still, I mean, he's a leading guy in Hollywood, Jason Statham.
Yes, he is. However, at some point he went from being some kind of like real actor that does real roles into some guy that does action movies that are like B movies.
Yeah. No, I was going to actually say B movies, like BEE. He's a beekeeper. But I know what you're saying. It's perfect timing. But yeah, it's like this guy will do any movie now. It's just an action movie that it has any storyline, but he still somehow knocks it out of the park. I haven't seen those movies, but I've read reviews and said it's pretty good. I mean,
they're okay. Me and my dad watched The Beekeeper, and I was just like, I was like, before you even put this on, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't know why you want to watch this.
Yeah,
we've seen this movie 100 times already, which, you know, and it wasn't that great, you know. But that being said, like, I love Jason Statham in this, and I like him as an actor. But maybe they were just like, we're just going to give you all this money to do these B movies, so like.
Well, you're not going to turn it down. I mean, that's what. I mean, it's also in recent news is you have Bruce Willis. I guess can't even speak sentences anymore, which is a shame. But
yeah,
you know, he's the same. He was in the same kind of situation where he was taking any movie at the end, like C-list movies, mainly B's, but it was just kind of bad what he was doing by the end there.
I don't know why those movies ever came out. There was an era in like 2015, maybe. I don't know when it started, but I feel like it was brought about from Redbox.
Yeah.
Do you remember Redbox?
Oh, yeah.
Where you get DVD, it was like a DVD rental outside of Target or something. And if you looked at Redboxes, they were always some kind of really cheesy, straight to DVD, weird action movies.
That's what they're all,
and a lot of them.
And you wonder how they make profit. Those movies.
You do. It's got to. I mean, is this again some kind of money laundering scam? I don't know.
Has to be.
Another actor in this movie, Stephen Graham.
Yeah, dude. Personal favorite of mine, I must say.
At this point, I think this is very early in his career, maybe like his first.
Dude, he looks so
go around. He's so young, but I think we need to officially establish on this podcast that you and I are huge fans of just actors that you wouldn't normally think of like top 5 actors, but there are top 5, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you're talking about a Mount Rushmore, you know, it's hard for me not to put Stephen Graham on that. We'll cover this movie at some point. It's called Boiling Point, and they actually made it into a show, but it was shot in one take, and they had 4 opportunities to do it, and it happened right.
And it's like an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half movie, and right when COVID hit, they had this deal with this small restaurant over in Europe, and they were told, "Hey, you got 4 shots at this, 1 in the morning, 1 at night for 2 straight days, and we're shutting down for COVID." They knocked it out, I think, the second or third try. And Stephen Graham's phenomenal in it. Again, we'll cover it, but when he gets a leading role, man, this dude, he just cooks. But
he's phenomenal in all sorts of things that we love.
Oh yeah,
Northwater
again. Dude, yeah, I want to talk. We'll get there, but yeah. So you have him on the Mount Rushmore. We'll get to others, you know, when the time comes. But I would also, you know, noteworthy is Sam Rockwell. Definitely,
Sam Rockwell,
a little more popular, and especially this scene that he just did, or whatever that show was, White Lotus or whatever.
White Lotus.
It got super popular, a lot of response, but. Yeah, he's definitely been on the Mount Rushmore for a long, long time. But
what would you call these actors?
Man, just standouts that never really got a leading shot. I would say that they're just supporting cast guys that just they steal the show, in my opinion. I guess
everyone who's into movies loves these actors.
Yeah,
and they're not as well known. They're not A-list actors, I guess.
Yeah,
but they're like B-list actors who are A-list talent.
That's a good way of putting it. Yep, I agree.
And geez, you know, I'm watching this movie today again. I think to myself, when did Benicio Del Toro become Benicio Del Toro?
Dude, that's so funny you say that, because I was thinking about this too. It's like this guy. It's again, we talked about before on this podcast is how Hollywood they'll do this. They'll have a guy in the 90s or something or 80s, and he'll get some good exposure. And then all of a sudden, he's gone for a little bit, still doing small stuff, and then they'll just have him explode, you know, later in his career. And this is Benicio Del Toro, in my opinion. I mean, this guy, he's been doing a ton of stuff lately.
I remember him from the 90s doing stuff. I remember, I don't know when Way of the Gun came out.
Yeah.
Was that the 90s? I kind of forget. I remember going to the movie theater and seeing this movie, The Hunted, which was basically the same plot as The Fugitive, except Benicio Del Toro is like It's The Fugitive with knife fighting.
Done.
It's a very strange movie. But I was like, yeah, there's Benicio Del Toro, and here he is in this movie. And then I had to go back and think. I was like, when did this guy become mega star?
Dude, what was the first Sicario?
I don't know. It's a great question, but see, I feel like at that point he was already like established, but
making his comeback.
That was a big role for him
on his second run, if you will. That was 2015 was the first Sicario.
Oh my God.
But,
that's unbelievable to think about.
Then he's in, personal favorite of mine, Inherent Vice. Plays a phenomenal.
Oh yeah. And Benicio.
Yeah.
Dude. And I forgot he's in the one movie with, Johnny Depp with, I can't even think of it now.
Which one? Oh, Fear and Loathing Las Vegas.
Yeah. My apologies. But yeah. He was in that. That was in the 90s, right? Yeah, so obviously he's been a big star, but then I was like,
but you're talking about the ebb and flow, and that's kind of his career.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, talk to me about the first time you've seen this movie, Snatch.
I mean, for me, I remember my brother got the DVD, sometime after it came out, right? I don't really exactly remember watching this movie, but I remember, like, my brother was a big Guy Ritchie fan. So I remember me, him, and my dad watched Lock, Stock basically around the same time Snatch came out in my living room. I was like, oh, well, I love this. This is insane. It's similar movie. Statham's in it, another Guy Ritchie movie that he made before this. And so, like, when Snatch came out, I had some idea, like, what it was going to be like. And then I was just like, damn, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And obviously it was. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Yourself, sir?
I would say it was in college, probably around 08, 09. It was just one of these movies that was popular at the time. I said, it's a couple years old, but, with just the action and dialogue. I personally loved it first watch. This is a very replayable movie, so I've seen it 100 times. But it's a great movie. I saw it early. Wasn't that much into movies at the time, but
this is like a dorm room movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it got
exactly
in the same way that like Fight Club did, a DVD.
You got the poster on your wall. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yep, for sure. So then, talk to me about the literally me character in this movie. Who are you?
I mean, I kind of identify with Tommy, played by Stephen Graham in this. Maybe I find myself getting involved in stupid shit somehow, and I don't understand how I got involved in it. Weirdly interested in buying illegal guns. And I'm absolutely just apt to pull a gun on someone and give a cheeky line if I have to.
Yeah, there you go. Simple as. Yep.
Who do you identify with in this movie there?
Oh, Jesus. There's so many characters. I'd have to say probably Avi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say maybe Bullet Tooth Tony. I don't know. This dude's just completely insane, unhinged. I don't even know if I would say him because he's actually cool under pressure. I'm fairly under pressure. I don't really care about anything, but yeah, he's a great character, dude. They introduce him, halfway through the movie, has a couple lines, but Bullet Tooth Tony's my guy.
Nice. Avi, played by Dennis Farina.
Yeah.
Dennis Farina died recently.
Did he?
At 60, he was only 69 years old. And I was looking at his Wikipedia. He did 3 years with the Army in Vietnam. Gets out and does 18 years with the Chicago Police Department.
Jesus.
And became a detective.
Wow.
Just think about that. That's a whole lot of living before you become a actor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's not the first, but yeah, it's definitely impressive to see that.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Take me into these Kino scenes.
When the movie starts out, they're robbing these diamonds from Jewish individuals, the Diamond Cartel, and the thieves all dress up. It's 3 Russian guys, and Benicio's character, and
Frankie Four Fingers.
Frankie Four Fingers. They're dressed up as rabbis with the whole Jewish garb on, and like these prosthetics on their face and everything. And they get through security and everything and just pull out these guns.
Got a loadout check on that? What are they rocking?
I think they had Glock. Curiously enough, I didn't really pay attention to that at this point.
That's your job. That's your job.
Unusual for me, but
this scene is cool because it has the cameras in the elevators. It's kind of tracking them throughout the whole thing. And like the credits rolling. It's like a real cool intro to it. But speaking of diamonds, are you versed in the diamond world, my friend?
Not exactly. I mean, I can tell you this. My dad worked in New York for maybe 20 years, which is another insane story in itself. But he told me that he used to see these giant dudes with trench coats on, and they'd be walking around with like some Jewish guy. And he was like, you know who they were? They're diamond guys.
Yeah.
They got these huge like guards with weapons underneath their trench coats, and they're carrying a briefcase full of diamonds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's this movie, dude.
Simple as, yeah, dude. I had to get into that whole world when I was doing auditions and taking classes for acting up in New York a lot. And that's right about the time I was, buying an engagement ring for my wife. And so I've seen this firsthand, dude. This like Diamond Ave in New York City is pretty insane. A lot of hustle, a lot of bustle. But I'll tell you what, man, diamonds, their value, in my opinion, is completely artificial. Yeah, it's just all marketing and public perception. I don't know how you feel about that, but they inflate these prices. And from what I understand, they're not even as rare as what they've made people believe. They control the supply, and which in turn creates a higher demand. So they're just another stone.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy, is that they own the
I don't know
whole
that
supply.
It's even a conspiracy, though.
And yeah, they own the supply. They keep the supply artificially scarce.
Right.
When they're really a common stone or whatever. So that means they're super expensive. I think it's interesting too, though. Like, diamonds are very expensive, but they're very tiny.
Yeah.
So you could move diamonds and move a lot of money.
Right. Exactly.
With diamonds, if you're a criminal, or if you needed, or let's say you didn't want to pay taxes on, I don't know, your beer purchases, and you wanted to pay in diamonds instead of checks. But yeah, so I like in the last season of Better Call Saul, he's on the run and he's got like an envelope full of diamonds with him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough for the diamond world.
It cuts to Turkish and Tommy and
Tommy. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of British accents and pikey accents in this episode, but bear with us.
And I just think it's funny, like this one scene, Turkish is lamenting the fact that he has to run this boxing business that he has in this broken down, crappy trailer. Yeah. He asks Tommy to get him a new trailer, and Tommy asks, "What's wrong with the one they got?" And Turkish just grabs the door, pulls it off the frame, and goes, "Oh, nothing, Tommy. It's tip top.
It's tip top. I just don't like the color." Yeah, dude.
The way they say stuff in this movie, I mean, it's just this whole movie is so funny, even if it's the serious parts, because just the way they say it and like the goofy lingo they use is so funny.
It's probably stuff you would hear. You probably just hear it on the streets if you were living in England, but when you don't hear that much as an American, you're like, "This is hilarious."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in this scene, it starts off. It hits me. It always struck me. Whenever I saw this movie, I thought to myself, my God, these guys and their their wardrobes. Mm-hmm. These people are all wearing like custom clothes and everything. So Tommy and Turkish both have these beige overcoats on.
Yep.
Right. And I became obsessed with a beige overcoat after watching this originally. I was downloading Turkish's personality into my head, and I was like, I got to get a beige overcoat and start wearing that all the time.
Dude. Yeah, the beige overcoat. It's funny that they both have it, and the only thing that differentiates it is like the top of Tommy's.
Yes.
It's like a darker brown where the neckline is. But they're partners or whatever, so I could see Tommy kind of, wearing the same thing as him. But, then the movie kind of cuts to these character introductions, and, first we meet Bricktop, which, you could argue this is the best character in the movie. But for starters, his henchman is named Errol, like not Earl, Errol. It's Errol, Errol. And I'm just, what a great name. Who knows? It might be common over there, but it's just hilarious.
That's one of those things. It's like, this is probably like a common
Errol
English name. Yeah, but I've never heard of anyone named Errol. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's Errols that I'm just not familiar with.
But Bricktop, man, it's just, this is a character that could be played by nobody else but this actor, Alan Ford. And I looked it up. This guy's 87 years old, still making movies. Absolutely incredible. But this is a one-of-a-kind character.
His face.
You want to talk about faces?
Oh my God, dude. This dude's face is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes all these little smirks in this movie that are just, if you look for them, it's subtle, but oh my God, it's so funny.
And the teeth, dude, on top of it, and the Coke bottle glasses, it's just all comes together for the perfect character.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best character in the movie, in my opinion, but.
I was watching this earlier, and I said to myself, I was like, does this movie need closed captions?
Yeah. Yes.
These guys are talking. I like, what did he say?
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
You got to look it up sometimes, what they're talking about.
It's this insane slang, this insane accent and slang.
Yes.
It's not just the accent. They're also saying weird stuff that only people in England say, only people in London say, right? And I'm like, I can't understand what they're saying half the time.
It's like when Turkish is talking about the pikey accent. He's like, it's not Irish and it's not English. It's just, it's pikey.
It's pikey.
When he's describing it, it's like, dude, it's so good. But you talk about crazy faces. Mickey, played by Brad Pitt, has this pretty insane face, right? When they first meet him, it's like they have Gorgeous George there, and they go up to the camper. And, they're playing along with him. He's this jovial character, right? And then they get into this kind of scuffle because, Gorgeous George is like 6'8", right? And he's walking towards Mickey, and the mom steps in, and you kind of get some insight at when the mom gets involved, then Mickey gets serious, right? You see later in the movie, but they get her in the camper, and he turns around to look at Gorgeous George, and he just has this look on his face. It's kind of subtle, but it's just like, all right, dude, I'm serious. You know what I mean? And if it's before he boxes him, he just one punches him. But yeah, it's pretty good look.
Mm-hmm. They're walking into Tommy's walking into the caravan and do this deal. And he goes, do you like dags?
Like dags? Oh,
do you like dags? Yeah. And the mom looks at him and is like, yeah, dags. Yeah. Oh, dogs. Like, oh, dogs. So Mickey has this. Mickey challenges Gorgeous George to a fight because the caravan they just sold them. Wheels come off.
Got no fucking wheels. Why don't caravan have no fucking wheels?
I'm like, dude, Brad Pitt takes his shirt off. I'm like, look at this physique though, dog. He's not that big.
Yeah, right? It is an interesting one. It's kind of weird because it's cut, but he's rather small.
He's small. His dimensions are interesting, to say the least.
Mm.
He looks like his traps are big, and his chest is big, but it's on a slim frame, right? And I just thought to myself, I was like, the level of physique inflation over the years.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Like guys, and maybe this started earlier in the 80s with Arnold.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in the 90s and everything, like this is a guy that Brad Pitt takes his shirt off. You're, as a natty, you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is achievable, this look.
Right. 100%.
This is at least something I could work hard at and get this look if I dedicate a lot of time to, right?
Right.
And then these guys get in and they start roiding for, X-Men and stuff. And the physiques just went completely insane. They've inflated.
They probably had him on some kind of cocktail for that. I mean, mind you, I just looked it up. He's 37 in this. So I'm sure there's a rigorous diet, and they had all these guys. Look what they did with Chris Pratt, right?
Right.
I mean, they made this guy look the way he did from, what is it, Parks and Rec, to, what was the movie he did he got like beefed up for?
Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
I think.
Like, look at that transformation.
Now, yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sure Brad Pitt is on some kind of thing, maybe hormone
definitely
replacement.
Definitely now.
Right?
63.
Well, absolutely. We just saw F1 in the theater.
Yeah.
And there is a scene in the movie where he takes his shirt off, and he looks kind of like how he looks in this movie here.
But a little more size. A little more size.
A little bit more size to him. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Brad Pitt's that guy.
Yeah, like Cruise. The guys don't age. But yes, yeah, it's funny you mention that, because this is 2000, right? And that the physique, what they are going for on screen, like peak, is much different than what it is now. Much different than it was in like 2010 too. So very interesting point. But the best part about this movie is just the banter. Then we get introduced to Vince, Sol, and Tyrone Solomon. And these dudes rule, because it's like this triad of dudes, and you get the vibe that they've known each other for their entire lives. Like, they just sell it so well, like their banter back and forth. And so you have Boris, the Russian. Wait, what is he, like ex-KGB or something?
Mm-hmm.
And he enters a shop, and the pikey dog that they got. So this movie's so all over the place. But the pikey dog that they got runs out, and Vince starts chasing it. And Sol says, "Don't worry about the dog, Boris." And Boris just shrugs his shoulders, like, "I'm not." And like, the way he says this line, he's like, "I'm not." Yeah, dude, what are you talking about? I'm not worried about it. It's just so good. Boris is also just such a great character, dude. So few lines, just so much that he expresses without saying it.
He also does like really crazy stuff during the movie where you're like, I think this guy just went insane.
Yeah.
Like later in the movie, he just starts like mumbling to himself in Russian and walking around like a robot.
Yep. He's talking to himself in Russian and just like walks past. He like grabs Tommy's balls and like squeezes them. And just like goes in and gets this AK. I don't know what it was, but walks out. He's ready to just like shoot everybody, hold court in the streets. But, and another great line is when they're parking the car and Vince says, "What's wrong with that spot right there, Tyrone?" He's like, "It's too tight." It's like, "Tyrone, you could land a jumbo fucking jet in there." It's like, I use that line regularly.
Yeah.
Like, on a regular basis.
This is one of I've heard many lines from this movie over the years working with you.
I do. I mean, so when they come out like naturally in everyday life, I'm just going to drop them with an English accent.
It's funny to me watching this too, is various characters, they have guns in the movie, and it's such a big deal.
Right.
Like, Turkish is giving Tommy a bunch of shit for having a gun in his waistband. And there's Saul has like a shotgun he pulls out at one point, and there's like, that's an anti-aircraft gun.
Anti-aircraft. Right.
And so it's like a big deal to have guns, and I'm thinking, this is London.
That's what I was just going to say. I think this is 2000 in London. I don't think it's legal, dude.
No, it's not.
So,
like, you're not allowed to have guns. These guys are just walking around with guns and stuff. They're all criminals, so they don't care. But it's like a big deal. Someone's got guns, right? Like if this is America, people not bat an eye about someone just having a gun waistband.
It is kind of alarming. But yeah, dude. So then you have Turkish and Tommy. They inform Bricktop that they've lost Gorgeous George for the fight, right? Bricktop says, "You're gonna have to repeat that." It's like, again, this is a line that I use 100 times over, but he's like, "You're gonna have to repeat that," and he's like, "We've lost Gorgeous George." He's like, "He ain't exactly a set of fucking car keys, is he?" Where did you lose him?
I mean, Bricktop is just unbelievable in this movie. Every line that he has is just so catchy, and repeatable.
So repeatable.
The way, not only just the lines, but the way he says it too.
Yeah, his delivery is so good, and it's just so matter of fact. But one thing that kind of caught my attention was after that, Vince and Soul, they robbed the bookie, right? And two things kind of stand out to me here. Number one being, it's illegal to gamble, right? So how does this bookie have a storefront? I correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Bricktop's. He owns the bookies, or the brick and mortar building, correct? Because she said, the girl goes, "Do you know who owns this bookie?" And I think they refer to it later as, it being Bricktop's shop. But how could they have the storefront if it's illegal?
Right. I'm not 100% sure because they do just walk off the street. Now, I will say that they do have like the door that locks.
Right.
And it looks maybe like there's some tinted windows. So maybe it's just this unassuming door.
Right. Well, it's right off the street, though.
Right. It seems unbelievable.
And you walk in, and this chick's just standing behind the counter, and giant letters that says, "All bets are off." Like, what else would it be for? I don't know. I could be completely missing it there, but that's another thing. That was number 2 is in this scene. We're always talking about these tiny role characters that absolutely kill it. This chick absolutely murders it with this scene.
She rolls.
Yeah, even to the way she like grabs the gun and shoots at him. It's kind of like, you can tell like she doesn't normally shoot guns, but she like sold it as, she's going for it. But yeah, just the way she delivers, like, cool, completely cool. This guy, I don't care if he has a gun in my face. This isn't my first time. You know what I mean? Someone trying to rob this place. All bets are off. If all bets are off, there can't be any money that can there.
Yeah, she's got like really short dyed blonde hair.
Yep.
Just, you could tell this has probably happened multiple times in her career.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't care at all that there's a shotgun pointed right at her face. We'll get into. I watch this movie and I just think to myself, like, I can't get over some things where I just can't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I noticed that they get in to the storefront here, this bookie place, and the guy with the shotgun cocks the shotgun to like show he means business, and then he cocks it again in like a later scene, it cuts back to her, and then he cocks it again and shoots it.
Right.
And then when she takes the shotgun from him, she cocks it again and shoots it. Now,
too much shotgun going on.
There's too many cycling. This is just something that like stands out to me, where I'm like, shouldn't there be like one in the chamber already?
Wouldn't it just shoot out though, and the next one would go in? If she cocks it again.
Yeah, like he cocks it, so that presumably puts one in the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, you don't want to carry one in the chamber, that's fine. But then he shoots it and then cocks it again a second time. So that releases the unshot shell on the ground. Now he's got one less shell. Then he shoots it. She grabs it. And then, to make matters worse, this specific type of shotgun it doesn't necessarily have to be cocked.
Right.
It's like an automatic shotgun as well. Okay, I don't want to
Well, it's funny you bring that up because this shotgun specifically, I'm like, look at the way this thing, just look at this shotgun. And it reminded me of one of the 2 or I think 3 shotguns that you can pick in GoldenEye. The N64 game. Wasn't this one of those, or at least kind of similar to that shotgun you can get in the game?
Yeah, I think it's called a Spaz.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
It's the same, if memory serves me correctly, it's the same shotgun that the guy in Jurassic Park has when he's hunting the velociraptors.
Maybe that's why I look familiar. I've seen this one before, though, this shotgun.
To my knowledge, that is an automatic shotgun, but also you can pump it as well.
Right.
So I don't know what this is a crazy conversation that we're getting lost in the weeds in here, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because it happens multiple times in the movie.
To be fair to Saul,
lose my mind.
To be fair to Saul, he shows you early in the movie that he's not some gangster. He's trying to be, a gold and, money mover, if you will. So, forgive him if he's not cocking the shotgun properly. It's probably a stolen gun and he's just, shooting. But yeah, you make a good point.
I get caught up in this kind of stuff. I lose my mind watching this.
Then it takes us to the boxing match, right? This scene absolutely rules. They spend multiple scenes building it up and how important this fight is and everything that possibly could go wrong goes wrong leading up to it. And, Mickey gets pissed and lays this dude out in one punch. And the camera just really cool, just shoots to everyone's face throughout the ring. And it just seeing their reactions. Everyone's like, oh shit. And just like Turkish and Tommy, like, oh shit, right? And it's just like, you can feel the gravity as it's happening of what just happened. Because the buildup was so, so heavy leading up to this. And it's just really well shot. And it just cuts back to Mickey, who's just chuckling. He's like, shrugs his shoulders, like, well, I don't know. What do you want me to do? It's so good.
Like it zooms in on everyone's face, like Bricktop.
Yeah.
Tommy, someone else, and then it goes right to Mickey, and he's just like,
what?
Whoops,
my bad. Whoops, my bad. But and then when they're walking out, so everyone gives Bricktop shit, and it's cool to see the different interactions that he has. But these 2 seemingly bigger gangsters are like, thanks a lot, Bricktop, and giving him shit. He's like, you better make up for it. He's like, I will. And then some young punk steps in front, he's like, well, thanks for the tip then, Bricktop. And he just pops off on this dude. And he's like, if you stop me whilst I'm walking again, I'll cut your fucking Jacobs off. And it shows it off screen, but you can hear the knife come out and he stabs this kid. And he looks at his hand, it's bloody. Where did you take that he stabbed him?
Dude,
kind of a wild
question. Ever since seeing this the first time, I thought the same thing. I had the same question. I'm like, did he just stab him in the nuts?
Yeah.
For real? He said he was going to.
If he stops him again.
Next time. Right. So then he stabs him for real, though. And I'm like, maybe he just stabbed him?
I think he just stabbed
on the leg.
He stuck him somewhere because his reaction wasn't as bad as nuts cut off. But yeah, he definitely he stabs him. I was assuming, like you said, leg or somewhere, and it's just like he's gushing blood. It's pretty wild, but
it's not shown enough, and it's kind of glossed over real quick. So you're like, whoa, what did he do there?
Yeah, it's wild. But then you have the post boxing match. Everyone's searching for the stone kind of thing. The dude who, like I mentioned before, the dude who plays Boris, is just a master at facial expressions, right? They tell him he wants half of the stone, or it's Soul and Vince. They're like, we want half of this. And he has this thing where he's like, he has this face. It's like, damn it. And he goes, he like makes a sound, like, pushes his hair back. Right. And he just nonchalantly puts these earpieces in, these earbuds, and just shoots Frankie Four Fingers in the head across the room. It's just this character, man. It's just one of those, like I said, it's just so matter of fact and just, it's so great.
I love that scene because it's not every movie where you get a guy who's like, I'm going to put ear pro in before I shoot this 44 Magnum gun inside.
Is that what it was? 44 Mag?
I guess it's some kind of giant revolver, but like the idea that he's like exasperated, like,
oh, I don't want to have to do this.
Just turns, puts ear pro in ever so subtly.
Yeah. But when they go back to his place and they dig up all his stuff, you see he has a whole arsenal of all these different guns and like grenades and shit, which is pretty wild. But then you have Bricktop showing up to Turkish's office, right? And just delivers another phenomenal line because he's talking about the pikey. He's like, I've got a bare knuckle boxing match in a few days. I want to use the pikey. And then Turkish goes, all right, of course. And he's like, of course. I wasn't asking, I was telling. It's like
so good, dude.
All his lines are so, just repeatable.
It's not just what he's saying, which is hilarious in itself. It's the specific cadence at which he says it is also very funny.
Yeah. Yep. And you talk about how you kind of had to look up or put captions on. Tommy and Turkish go to find Mickey and his buddies to try and get him to fight. And the mom's like, oh, they're hair coursing. He's like, they're what? You had to look it up. It's like, they're hair coursing, right?
Yeah.
So are you familiar with this? Hair coursing?
Vaguely. It's like some kind of thing with hunting where you send dogs out or something.
Yeah.
Right?
So they send these greyhounds and they bet to see if it can catch the hare.
Yeah.
So, then side note, they're talking, going back and forth, and this dog jumps up at Mickey and he just gets into like this fighting stance. He's like, Fugger. Just a random thing, like Fugger. But so they do this cool shot though where it's like a slow-mo of the dogs being released because clearly Turkish bets on the wrong thing, so he's like, the hare's gonna get fucked. So it's like a slow-mo cut back and forth between the dogs chasing after the hare and then Errol and John, chasing or hunting down Tyrone and chasing after him, right? But it's pretty cool back and forth, and of course, Tyrone gets caught, and the hare who Turkish bet on gets away, which is pretty cool scene though. I like that. Nice touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way they shoot, like, there's a lot of shots in this movie that are very cool.
Yeah.
The way they do this juxtaposition between the hares and these guys getting chased, the way they do this zoom in.
Yeah, the gun thing where it's like, the fact that you have replica written down your gun, that it would just like, it shows the Desert Eagles like,
right.
That's like a really cool shot. Yeah, he has some cool tricks in this movie.
Right. Yeah, like it's a very good movie and everything, and the incredible story and everything like that. But also, yeah, like the shots are very cool too.
Yeah.
So this is a hell of a movie there. It's a complete movie.
Yeah, one that I don't like though, shots wise, if we're on the subject, is when Mickey gets uppercut and he's like flying up and he lands in the water and like splashes into the water and he's like looking up or whatever. It just really didn't. And he's just bloodied and battered on the ground, just gets right back up, continues to fight. I don't really understand that. I don't know what he's trying to.
I think he's trying to say he got like knocked out.
Yeah.
And when you get knocked out in a boxing match, it's almost like you're not just getting up, you're swimming to the top of the water, you're underwater, like, you're swimming to survive and you can't just get up. It's like you're breathing for, it's just, I guess it's a metaphor for being knocked out.
Yeah, but Mickey doesn't need that. He's mastered. He's mastered. He doesn't need it.
Right.
He just get right back up. You don't need that for that character. But, yeah, I mean, otherwise than that, it's really well shot the way he does all these cool tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that stood out to me was, I don't know if you call it this, but Avi, it's a great character throughout the movie because he's obviously this American, diamond trader in New York, right? Fast paced, whatever, doesn't want to go to London. But then when he gets there, right, he's kind of a little bit enamored with these people and the way they do business, because it's like this criminal underworld. He's like, this doesn't fly in America, right? These people were kind of alien to him, even to the point where Bullet Tooth is dragging Mullet down the street with his head stuck in the car. And he's like, he goes, "Are we going to take him with us?" He's just kind of just staring at him back and forth. He's like, dude, what the hell's going on? There's some points where he's like really intrigued by stuff and like kind of like a kid. But then that one, he's just staring at him. He's like, dude, what's going on? Are you going to take him with us? Like, we have shit to do. But I just
he was very into the process.
Yeah, he was very interested by it all.
Like, what is this Bullet Tooth Tony doing here exactly? I like your style. I like your process by which
admiring
you're
it a little bit.
Interrogating people.
Yeah,
exactly. And then you have the comes around. It's the final boxing match. They get Mickey to partake in the final match.
This is the one problem that I would say I have with the entire movie. The writing on it just doesn't add up, right? So you have Bricktop, right? He wants to show Mickey that he's not messing around, which I think is already established, but he has his mom's camper burnt while she's sleeping in it, right? To get him to do the fight. So I don't know. And because he's so pissed about what he did in the prior fight, but like, how do you think an unhinged pikey is going to react to that? You know, you burn his mom alive. You think he's just going to be obedient? Like, he's a fucking pikey.
Right.
It just makes no sense.
I think Bricktop was pissed at him.
Right.
And I also think that Bricktop is a very confident guy for no reason. I mean, not for no reason. He's probably done stuff his whole life to make him a confident guy, but he's old. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, here's a guy, he's old, and you're like, what is it? Like, I could kill this guy if I wanted to.
But he's got all the muscle. Seems to
be like,
he's got a ton of gangsters backing him up.
But how many? You know,
Turkish finds
seems to be like there's these people that kill people. And they're like super confident people in the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But eventually those people get old and they don't have the same kind of fight in them, but they still think that they're that same person. That's the killer. They think, I do stuff that regular people don't do. But eventually there's other people that will just do the same stuff and you're going to come up against those people. Right.
Yeah.
And they think they're invulnerable is what I'm trying to say. Like, you ever see these mafia movies and all these guys are old, but somehow everyone's afraid of them? And it's because, you know, they'll kill you.
Well, it's like, that's a good point. And an example of that is when, I can't remember the guy's name, the dude with the bleach blonde hair, the gangster who's talking to Saul and Vince. I think his name was like Lance or something. And Bricktop comes into their store and he's like, you know who I am? And then the dude, he's like, I do. he's like cowering, and the rest of them like, we don't know who the hell are you, right? So same kind of deal. It's like a common gangster. They could just shoot him. And and Bricktop goes in there alone. He's like, he has enough respect and knowledge of this guy, what he's capable of, that he's like, I do.
I do. Yeah, I mean, like, this is a guy to anyone else. It's like, this is some old dude walking in. Why should I fear him? But, you know, that it's because of their reputation.
Right.
They get over on their reputation. But what if you just killed them first?
But dude, I'm telling you, to kill his mom, like, how do you think he's going to react to it, dude? I don't know that you're not going to corral this pikey by killing his mom, burning her alive in her camper.
Seems like a major oversight.
Yeah, I don't know. It was always the one thing that stuck out to me. Like, but the movie has to happen, so.
And that's a cool scene too, because it's like it cuts to the trailer. The trailer's on fire, and Mickey's like rushing to get in, and his friends are holding him back because the whole thing's on fire. You're not going to save anyone; they're already dead. And he's like rushing in and everything, and it goes like slow motion, and it just cuts to Mickey's face, and it's like. It's real dark out, and he's looking super unhinged and pissed. He's accepting that she's dead, and all you see is just his face lit by the fire. It's kind of rad.
Dude, as you were saying that, and I'm like thinking about these different shots in this movie, I'm thinking to myself, this couldn't have been a very expensive movie to shoot. There's not like crazy things going on. You're burning like this old caravan. I just looked it up. The budget was £6 million.
Unbelievable.
£6 million.
Think about that, dude.
In 2000 equates to like roughly like 10 million. I couldn't even guess, but like right around that in US dollars.
Nothing.
And I would imagine a lot of these actors took a pay cut to do it because they knew the script. Mm-hmm. The script was awesome.
Right.
So think about that. Look what they accomplished with £6 million.
That, and right, it's like that is what a fantastic movie. Also, like, and like, you know, how much a Reservoir Dogs cost. Like, it's like, if you, dude, that's it. It's part of what we were talking about at the beginning. It's like, why are we talking about all these movies that came out years ago? Because like they don't write the. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. They don't hire writers.
So that's £6 million adjusted for inflation today would be $15 million. This movie was done for $15 million. Taste. Think about it.
It's unbelievable.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get down this rabbit hole that we've been down before talking about it, but just it's alarming to see that. Again, a lot of these actors probably took pay cuts. I'd assume that they worked for next to nothing because they wanted to do this movie. But it just goes to show it was probably shot super quick. You know, these are easy scenes to shoot. Easy scenes.
Yeah.
You could have a skeleton squad, like a crew, and just, you know, accomplish these scenes, but hats off.
And I wanted to bring up this one scene. It's kind of funny. Errol and his thugs go beat up Turkish's arcade, bust up his arcade. They find Turkish, get him on the ground, about to cut him with a sword. They pull a sword out.
Yeah, dude.
And Tommy comes in to save the day, and he comes in and pulls his gun out and like tells Turkish to get up and everything. Incredible line by Errol though. Tommy's holding a gun at him, and he's just like, "Calm down, son. Behave yourself.
Calm down, son. Behave yourself." Yeah, dude. It's just like, that scene rules.
Cuts back to the Pikey camp now. And I just thought this was like Mickey holds back his friend and says, like, they're trying to get him to do this fight or whatever. His friend busts out of the caravan and is about to like fight these guys.
What are you doing here? Yeah, he's like freaking out.
Turkish and Tommy. And he just Mickey turns around and is like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Like, dude. He means to say fuck off, but he goes, fuck off.
Fuck off. Well, and then Turkish says it. He's like, you know, imagine how I feel. He's like, his mom's ashes are still fresh and smoldering. He's like, I'm asking to fight for him. Because when you think about it, that all happened because of Tommy and Turkish. All those things that led up to that was because of that.
Right.
I know they're asking
just for buying a caravan.
I got a caravan. So it's crazy though.
Is Avi even Jewish in this movie, by the way? Like, they talked about how Doug the Head is not actually Jewish. He just pretends to be Jewish at one point.
I think Avi is, I think the name Avi is Jewish, but Doug the Head, they do reference him not being Jewish, but he acts like it or whatever. He's
pretending to be Jewish for business reasons. And like Avi and Doug are having this conversation, and like Bulletproof Tony, and they're talking about how they're like the Russians, and it's just like, you know, these Russians are anti-Semitic, and it like cracks me up that these guys aren't even like Jewish, you know.
Yeah, I remember that scene. That's good. Then you have Bulletproof Tony. What I was saying in the Little Me character is like, dude, this guy. There's the scene where he's sitting in the pub. He's like, "Point of the black stuff, landlord." So then he sits down, right? And it's Solomon, Vince, and Tyrone. And he just kind of nonchalantly sits down, doesn't even like recognize them. He might see him, he might not. And then he sits down, they all have guns in his face, right? But he delivers that line. He's like, "The fact that you got replica written down the side of your gun, the fact that I've got Desert Eagle .50 written on the side of mine should precipitate your balls into shrinking." And it's just like this guy's power with his words. And it's just like they all tilt their heads and look at the side of their gun and look at the side of his. And it's like they just stop and just walk away. Like, yeah, that's like one thing about that. Like, his character's cool as hell and all other things, but just that one scene where he's able to just have them about face and walk out is kind of funny. Yeah. It's good.
Now, I mean, dude, in the notes here, I went off on like kind of a rant because already watching this movie with the shotguns earlier, I was already like losing my mind. So I see this movie with Bullet Tooth Tony, this scene here, and he starts shooting these rounds from his Desert Eagle. And I'm like, wait a second. He gets up off of his chair and hears him in the hallway, and he cocks his gun. Now, right then and there, I start to get pissed.
I knew you were going to have a problem with this scene, by the way, side note.
So, like, why wouldn't you carry a bullet in the chamber? Because that way you can just pull the gun up and shoot immediately. The idea being, like, if you have to pull your gun out, cock it, then shoot it, it's slower. Someone else could already have their gun out and shoot you quick before you cock your gun, right? Anyway, so he cocks the gun, then he shoots 8 rounds. I counted it. Okay. Now, I looked up in a Desert Eagle 50 caliber version, the magazines only have 7 rounds in it. That would mean that you would have to have 1 in the chamber and a full magazine.
Right.
To have 8 rounds. But as we saw, he cocked the gun first. So now he should have 7. Anyway, this was pissing me off. So I looked it up on the IMFDB site, the firearms database. And apparently the 50 cal version didn't exist when they shot this. But maybe they knew it was going to exist because the actual gun in the movie is a 44 Magnum version, which has 8 rounds in the magazine, right? So then what happens? He goes into he shoots all the rounds, right? Then he goes in to the hallway and he puts 8 more rounds. He changes the magazine, puts 8 more rounds into Boris.
Yeah.
And then goes to kill Tyrone and it clicks. Right?
You lucky bastard.
Wait a second, 8 rounds in the magazine here again. So anyway, that triggered me.
Well,
I just want to put it out there. I don't know if any other autistic people were triggered by watching this, but this is the kind of stuff that triggers me.
It's a $6 million budget, my friend. They couldn't afford the arms guy. For consistency.
They couldn't afford the 50 cal version.
Well, no, they couldn't afford the guy to be on set to make sure everything's accurate. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But it's the next scene. They cut to a card game between Turkish Tommy and Gorgeous George, which is pretty cool. And they're kind of talking about the fight, and Tommy's pressed Turkish on this matter. And this is the first time, pretty much in the movie, that you see like raw emotion from Turkish. Right? He's like, I heard what you said, Tommy. It's not as though we've got a choice now, is it? You show me how to control a wild fucking gypsy, and I'll show you how to control an unhinged, pig-feeding gangster. Bollocks! I'm out for a walk. Like,
I'm out for a walk. I love that.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool because I think that Statham does a really good job in this movie. And although he's not the coolest character, if you will, I think he does a really good job, right? And he kind of, he's the glue that kind of holds everything together. But it's, that was a cool, how they kind of keep him cool, calm, and collected throughout the entire movie. And then this final scene, he's like stressed, and Tommy's pushing him and he just pops off.
Yeah.
So,
listen, I'm a Jason Statham fan.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton of movies that he's in that are cool and good that aren't some goofy action movie.
And he can act too, man. It's just, even when it's not action, he's a good actor.
Like that movie where he was with Chris Evans in a bathroom the whole time, just doing coke the whole movie. Called London. Fantastic movie. Great. And he's got hair in that movie too.
He's bald maxing now.
He's been bald maxing for a minute. Yeah. I mean, Jesus. In this, it's funny because in this movie, he's got like fuzz on the top of his head.
Yep.
Like Statham, look at this. He had hair once. He was a actual actor, not in B movies once. And I'd like to point out that, like we were saying earlier, the footage of Mickey at his mom's funeral, it's fantastic. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like it mixes freeze frames and zoom ins, right? With like sped up shots where they're like all speedy and everything. And then there's some kind of like ghost shadow effect that they use too. And it's all to stimulate him just getting liquored up.
Right.
And I was like, that was very effective the way they shot that.
Yep. Yeah, it's a cool little shot.
Imagine you're blacked out. I mean, you've probably gotten liquored up before, right? And you wake up and you're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine. Now, they show it in the movie where he's like waking up and it's got Turkish like hitting him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, like you're blacked out and then all of a sudden you're like, you wake up and you're like, where am I? Like, oh yeah, my mom was just murdered and I have to go fight in a boxing match for these two idiots now.
Well, I would assume that Mickey has some, he's a professional at doing this, so it's nothing new for him, but
this isn't his first rodeo in getting liquored up, I'm sure.
Right. And he has this whole plan already in effect of the whole, but to your point, yeah, it's like, dude, you got to go a couple rounds with this guy who's going to beat your ass. Right. So that's a good point. But I mean, it leads to that final scene to me, it's just so Kino. It's the song comes on. It's called Fucking in the Bushes by Oasis. And it's just like the scene is complete mayhem. And what I really love about it is they keep cutting the song to show certain parts where, whether there's punches being thrown, you can hear just the brutality of the punches and stuff. And it just keeps cutting and like, it'll have the sound on the song, like kind of layered down a little bit, which is pretty cool. But that whole ending scene is just incredible, that fight.
Yeah. And it would like, that with the combination, it would like speed up the film.
Yeah.
At that moment, it was shot very well. Yeah. Very effective.
Another funny side note is, Mickey takes off his shirt at the beginning of it when he's about to fight and he throws it and Tommy catches it. But if you take notice, there's some like dude who's an extra in his corner. I'm assuming he was an extra. He's in his corner and I'm sure he was told to kind of like hype up, Brad Pitt. And he does this awkward thing where he goes to like slap him on the back, but he like grabs his arm. It's just, when you have a second rewatch that scene, it's so funny. And it's just super awkward.
I've never noticed that before, but I saw you wrote it down and I was like, that is epic. I've noticed he like does this thing where he goes to like catch the shirt, but then it was, oh, that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to hit him on the back. And then he just doesn't know what to do and he just moves all awkward.
Dude, we talk about extras being just either the GOAT or just this guy completely flubs it. And for some reason, Guy Ritchie just goes with it. He's like, hey man, we're on this $6 million budget. Just got to roll with it.
Blew it.
Can't cut it. I liked what I had from Stephen Graham and Brad Pitt, so I just got to go with it. But yeah, I just thought that was funny.
And then they finish. Mickey wins the fight despite getting knocked underwater, like you said. He gets back up and like hits the guy in the head and immediately knocks the other guy out. And then it's like again, zoom in. They get the hell out of there as quick as possible, and they go into the back alley. And Bricktop's like, "Give me the shooter," and gets shot in the face with a shotgun. And it cuts to Turkish, Mickey, and Tommy, and they're all like making this face. That
was a nice touch. I love that whole face thing at the end there.
Freeze frame. And it's so funny. Just the cadence, the way they say this stuff, and Turkish starts describing what's about to happen, and he goes, "But the putt." It's like we all make these faces and look stupid, and we're all surprised. But the pikey didn't. Why?
Dude. Yeah, it's that ending scene is really well done. It all comes together, which is pretty cool. And then the music comes back on and it's really cool. But yeah, great movie. Incredible. Give me your Kino
rating, sir.
Oh, Kino rating? Okay. Yeah. Give us an 8.5 for me. Like I said, it's one of those you can watch 100 times. Like I mentioned before, you can quote it regularly. Acting is brilliant and writing is even better. It just goes to show you, man, I hate to beat a dead horse, but you can accomplish a god tier movie on a small budget. And again, I'll have to look into this, but I'm assuming, right, in 2000 with these big actors or they were big at the time, at least, still are, that you're not making a $6 million budget movie without people taking some pay cuts because they believed in it. So like, there's your problem, right? There's your issue with the equation in Hollywood making movies nowadays.
This guy came out with Lock, Stock, and they're like, this guy is a genius. Whatever his next movie is, if I'm involved in it, I'm doing it. I don't care what the money is. But also, you need to you got to get a guy like this. And you got to be like, hey, we're going to let you make a movie. We're going to let you write a screenplay. Now, what do we got? We got these movies, $300 million budget, bud. And
yeah, I mean, it's
a bunch of slop.
I don't want to, I don't want to pop off, but yeah, that's all. The point that I'm trying to make is, look what you can accomplish with $6 million. What about you, Kane? What do you got?
I give it an 8. I think there's a bunch of serious scenes in this movie, but it's like, to me, it's like, this is my kind of like humor where even when there's supposed to be some serious things going on, it's extremely funny.
Yeah.
Just the strange interactions that people are having with each other, the banter, and the way that people say stuff in this movie. Insane accents and lingo that they're using, every line. So yeah, I mean, it's a very funny movie. And I tell you what, like, I don't even like laugh anymore. And I found myself just randomly just like when just cracking up laughing, like when Boris gets hit by the car. Like, it shocked me. I was like, whoa, I forgot about that. I started laughing. It's like, oh, I remember that. I remember laughing. Huh.
But it's that's depressing. But no, dude, it's the fact that this is solely written and directed by Guy Ritchie says a lot. It's like all of this came from one dude's brain. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
And people believed in enough. They're like, all right, we're just not going to get paid anything for this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just looked this up, and Brad Pitt made $15,000 for this movie. I mean, that's what Google said. I don't know if that's accurate. It says possibly as low as. So just think about that. It's unbelievable.
He must have believed in it, because then I heard something along the lines of like, he didn't necessarily want to do it at first because he just came off a movie where he was a boxer.
Yeah.
In Fight Club.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
but
he must have seen it.
It was one of those things where,
like, okay, yeah, no, I got to be into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And all these guys, they found out all these other names are in it. Like, we don't really have a budget for this, but we're going to be, it's, passion project. But anyway, folks, that's all we got.
There you have it, folks. Snatch.
2000. Catch you on the next one.